Man, oh man, the pipe just keeps going deeper and deeper in the grave when it comes to DKOldies. Like, it is just fascinating that this company truthfully does not care about their products or their consumers. Yeah, it continues to get worse. Like, we're not kidding. But let's roll the video, shall we? Because this is going to be very interesting for you guys of what we got for you. So, let's start the video, shall we? So, me and countless of other YouTubers are going to continue to keep calling DKOldies out for their, scamming, lying, and all the nonsense that they're doing to their consumers. And we're just going to keep calling them out until something eventually changes, if ever. And like I mentioned on our previous video about them, the owner is the number one reason as to why DKOldies is literally putting false information on their products, saying that they're this and that they're that, and the consumers are they're not even getting platforms that meet up the expectations of what they have in the description. And some people ain't even getting consoles that don't even barely work. And they're like, and yet they test and they clean. But even if they're not cleaning the inside, it sounds like to me they're not even testing the console out. If this continues to be a train wreck, which it truthfully already is, but if it keeps going and going and going, it's going to get worse, and DKOldies might, from what I heard, could face a class action lawsuit for what they're doing. And I'm going to send you a message real quick, Drew, the owner. You better fix this crap, because if you don't, your company is going to be in some serious, deep trouble. And I'm not even kidding. Like, the company is going to be in some serious, deep trouble if you do not fix your freaking issues. Like, come on. It's not that hard to take a freaking console apart and literally freaking have a washcloth or whatever the heck it is and freaking wipe it and then take it apart and do all that. It's not hard. Why are you so freaking afraid or whatever the case is? Why? Why is it so hard to take a console apart and actually, give the right information? And especially with controllers too. Like, they say that for some of the consoles that they've gotten, they get an original controller. Now, granted, I think this is a knockoff controller for the 360, but it's an Afterglow one. But they literally say that, like, buy it for $30 extra to get a real, actual controller, and yet, like, they don't even get the real controllers. So, that's right there, two things that they're lying about. So, Drew, if you watch this video, DKOldies, and you could like it or not, but, Drew, you need to get the fucking stick out of your ass. Because this is just freaking uncalled for. But we got two videos to show you from two new other popular YouTubers that have now got basically scammed from DKOldies. And that is Tronics Fix, and then as well as a real popular content creator that's been on YouTube for several of years, Austin Evans. And I'm a big support of Austin Evans' channel. He's incredible. So let's go on ahead and let's show you some partial spots of both videos of what they managed to get, because it's just going to be just like Jacob R. and Rich of Review Tech USA and the other countless of YouTubers that have gotten dirty consoles. So let's go on ahead and let's show you. Alright. So we're going to start off with Tronics Fix's NES console that he got from DKOldies, and this is just not going to be all that good. So let's start with the first part with the NES of when he tries out Super Mario Bros. 3, because just embrace yourselves, because just wait.
Best game ever for the NES, Super Mario 3. Let's see if it'll turn on and if it shows up on the screen. Okay, let's try a bit of a reset. Okay, so I'm gonna plug the game in and out several times. And now let's try it. And gray screen.
Look, as you can see, the system's not even functioning like it should. So DKOldies literally didn't even test this NES that Tronics Fix has got. They straight up did not test it out, because he got the game to work, but it was not good. And then now, after he did whatever he had to do, now he's not getting no display at all. So something is wrong with that NES when putting a cartridge in, and they didn't clean the console. And it could be something wrong with the cartridge too, and they didn't even do it either. So I'm telling you, I'm going to say this again. I know I've said it on previous videos. Don't buy old retro games from DKOldies. You are better off to buy from eBay, which is going to save you way lots more money, and you're going to most likely get a product that at least a majority of the time functions right. Or another option is, if your local pawn shop has it, that's also another thing, because pawn shops are getting better at making sure their stuff works, unlike DKOldies that don't even test theirs. So eBay or one of your local pawn shops is going to be your best choice. You're going to save money, and you're going to be 90% guaranteed that the system is at least going to work, even if it's not clean on the inside. But they don't even test their consoles either. So DKOldies better figure out something. So let's go on ahead and let's skip to... Actually, hold on a second.
Okay, let's try it without pushing the game down into the system. Just having the game pushed in, but not pushing the tray all the way down. And gray screen. Okay. Honestly, pushing the game in, it doesn't feel like the 72-pin connector is really getting a good grip on the game. So I'm kind of wondering about that myself. We'll do the trick that always works.
Alright, so now we're going to show you the controllers. At least he got the regular controllers with the NES, unlike most of the other items that DKOldies has sold, where they say they include the original controller, but they don't. They always give the consumer a knockoff controller that doesn't even work, or it doesn't even play all the games, like Jacob R's with the OG PlayStation 3 that can't even play PS1 or 2 games, only PS3 games. Like, this is just a scam. They're just a scam at this point. And they're not freaking standing up for themselves and making a video, claiming that they messed up or whatever. They're just sheep. They're just putting it under the rug and acting like, oh yeah, we're successful. If you don't like it, yeah, we're going to continue. Like, it's like they don't even care. They just keep trying to make themselves look good for absolutely no reason. But they're not. They're just freaking painting themselves in a corner deeper and deeper and deeper. Now it's even more with Tronics Fix, and especially Austin Evans, that we will show you after some more couple parts on Tronics Fix's video. But Let's take a look at his controller real quick, shall we?
At the inside, see if they did anything, if they cleaned it out or anything like that. Okay, this all looks all pretty good so far. Okay, this one definitely has not been cleaned on the inside.
Yep, you could see it right there on that white, whatever that is, the freaking buttons or whatever, the directional buttons. Like, you can just look at that right there. That's easy to do. And I mean, yeah, I understand it. There is not that much dust on there, but you can clearly see that there is dust on that. And that's something very, very easy to take apart. That is a controller that doesn't have that many buttons and that is easily taken apart compared to like something like, like a PlayStation 4 controller, for an example. Like, that's so easy to do, and they couldn't even just take it apart and just clean it for 3 seconds. Like, they're just a scam. They're literally just a scam.
You can see all of this kind of grime on this pad right here. Same with this one right here. Let's check this one with the start button. Yeah, same thing here.
And look at the 2 buttons right there on that other white thing here. Like, that's even worse than the directional button layout. Like, look at that. Like, that is not even, like, that's barely white. That looks so much dim brown or whatever. Like, that just doesn't look good. And what if the buttons don't even function right? Which, there's a possibility they might not. If he was to play that controller, like, there's a good possibility. I'm telling you, I seriously don't know what is up with this company, but Drew, as the owner, he better figure something out, or he better leave the company and hopefully find a new owner that is going to actually care about the consumers and care about this stuff, because this is just not cool. This is just straight up not cool.
So, I mean, not a huge deal. It's not like these are like super gross, but they also definitely weren't cleaned. In my opinion, I don't really see much refurbished on this. I see mostly something that works, and so they called it refurbished. That's just my opinion, though. I mean,
that's exactly what they're doing, Tronics Fix. They just here's the thing. They sell these items for insane high prices, what I mean to say. They sell these items for a insane high price, and they put the word refurbished in it because they know that the item will sell. They don't take the console apart, they don't clean it, and they just put that because they know that people will be like, it's like they're going after like the grandparents or the parents that wants to buy these consoles for like their kids, and they're going to see that and be like, oh, okay, refurbished. Oh, they must have cleaned it, because they want to trick. They just want to trick these people, especially with the parents and grandparents that might not know stuff about this, to get these consoles for their kids, and just to freaking lie to them and say, yep, thank you for your money. Sorry if your item's broke. Like, I'm telling you, like, that's exactly what they're doing. They're just putting refurbished on there, trying to get the people that ain't going to care, because they're only in it for the money. They're not in it to sell great products. They don't care how much times they screw over the consumer, as long as they get their cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's all they care about at this point. So, moving on.
some people might call that refurbished. On the outside, it's, somewhat clean. The inside definitely is not clean, but you can see the outside really isn't too bad. So that's the first controller. Let's take a look at this second one and see what it looks like on the inside. And all the screws are loose. Let's check the inside of this one. There's definitely some grime down here. Kind of hard to see, but that's kind of gross, but not too big of a deal, I don't think. And the board looks mostly fine. And this one looks pretty similar. It's just got a bunch of gunk built up on these.
And that you can see with the second controller, it doesn't look the same as the other one. I actually see a lot more darker dust spots on that than what the other one did. I'd say the second controller is worse. Literally. The second controller is really worse.
These button pads, that's actually pretty.
Yeah, look at those red buttons right there. Look how disgusting that looks. Just, oh my goodness. I know for one thing, if I bought an NES, and especially, like, that might not even be dust on there. That could be, like, possibly cigarette smoke or cigarette tar or whatever. Because people that smoke around items, the smoke will tend to get into those and build up brown spots just like that. But that might be some kind of dust. But usually dust is like darker gray and somewhat very, very light brown. But if you see like dark brown similar to that, that could also mean that somebody could have smoked, and that stuff definitely will make a console not last in the long run. So that looks like that could be what it is, but I'm not quite sure. But that looks disgusting, like really bad. So you can tell this controller is worse than the first one he had.
Pretty gross on this one. This one's got some serious buildup on it. Let's check this one. Yeah, same here. That's just...
And look at that one. Look at that one right there. Like, you barely see white on this thing like you did on the other one. That's just... Oh, dude. I don't understand what this company truthfully thinks. I don't understand why this company thinks that it's okay to sell these consoles and literally put exactly what they're not doing. Like, I don't know how they think that this is okay. Like, 'cause it's not. It's just not okay. I don't get these guys. These guys just are a freaking scam artist, and they just are in it for the money. They do not care about the products. They don't care about the consumers. They're just in it for the profit. And I think eventually, with everything going on, with Review Tech USA, Jacob R., us a little bit in a way, even though we haven't bought a console, but we're showing you guys exactly what they're freaking getting and all of the backlash that they're getting. And then on top of freaking RGT85 calling them out, and also now Tronics Fix having a test of a console, and then now Austin Evans, which we'll show you shortly. This ain't looking good for them. Something's gonna come at them really, really soon, and I honestly hope that it does. To be honest, like, because they need to figure out something, because this is just uncalled for to give people consoles that don't work and sell them at high prices. I want to say the exorbitant. There we go. It's just hard for me to say that word, but like they're in it for the profit. They want to sell them at high prices, and then that's just it. And they don't care if the product works or not. So yeah, but let's continue.
I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. Just kind of gross. Case with the spider webs on it, nothing looks too crazy in here, but I feel like... Okay, and now the top should be able to come off, and there we go. Actually, looking at the top, the first thing I notice is there's like spider web in here.
Yeah, right there. There's like a spider web in there. Like, that's super freaking easy. That just takes 1 freaking second to just peel off or whatever. I mean, yeah, it might be disgusting, but like, you know, that's just easy. And then and you could even see from even the vents right there that you could see some little spots on there that they didn't even clean. And that's super easy to clean, literally. Right there, they didn't even do that. So
it's kind of hard to see, but there's like kind of dead bug bodies in this spider web. Not like a huge deal or anything, but I feel like this either hasn't been cleaned or it's just been sitting around for a long time getting bugs in it. Not like roaches or anything. This isn't cockroach damage, but some sort of bugs were kind of in this thing. Okay, and first impressions of the inside, other than the top case with the that we took out already, were on from these posts. There we go. And now the whole board is loose, and we can take a look at the bottom side. Outside, inside, we don't stop. Go for worldwide, we don't. So this is sort of interesting right over here. Now the advertisement didn't say anything about having the lockout chip disabled on this NES, but it definitely has been. This is the 4th pin right here on the chip, and that's how you disable the lockout on these. So I don't know, maybe that's, you know, maybe somebody did that and then sold it to DKOldies just like that. I don't know. All right, now let's take a look at this 72 pin. There we go. And the inside of this case looks pretty good. There's like a piece of something green, piece of green confetti or Christmas tree or something. Other than that, I mean, there's a little bit of, you know, dust and debris in here, but not bad, pretty clean overall. Now, looking at these pins on the board, they don't look too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and just clean them just to make sure they're nice and clean. Now, for this 72 pin, I'm gonna tighten this thing up by getting my pick under these little pins and bending them back up. This is just gonna make sure they're all bent up more so it'll get a better connection to any game we plug into it. So I'm gonna do that on all of.
Right there is another big reason of why Super Mario Bros. 3 probably didn't even work, because the pins are way loose, as you're seeing, and he's going to make them tighter so that way it has enough of the game to play it. So that right there is another reason, and I'm telling you, this is just showing more evidence that they're clearly not even testing the consoles out. Like, even if they're not cleaning them, they're probably also not even testing them out, I should say. I don't know why I said testing out, but they're not even testing them at all. They're just like, oh yeah, we'll do it. Let's send it. We got the item. Let's just send it. We don't worry about if it works or not. And apparently, like I said on my previous video, like Drew, the owner, is the main reason as to why they don't even clean the consoles. He's telling them not to take them apart and clean them unless something is like rattling inside the console itself. So that's just not really smart for business. But right here is the last part of Tronic's Fix video that I was going to show you. Now, let's actually move over to Austin Evans. And man, we actually got at least a couple consoles. A 360 and as well as a PlayStation 3. So let's watch Austin Evans' video, because this one's going to be completely insanity, very, very interesting.
Anything. So there's your problem. This is supposed to be attached on both sides. This is just not attached. That's broken here. So that's why the click does not actually not work. So that's immediately strike one.
Little Xbox sticker here. What is this Xbox sticker? You see that? It's like a weird paper sticker.
This could have actually been opened and repaired before DKOldies even got their hands on it, which doesn't absolve them of anything. But I'm kind of curious, like, with something that's this age and still functioning, it's not outside the realm of possibility that it has been opened multiple times over the years.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I've immediately seen something.
There's like a piece of like tape or something here to hold the disk drive in, and it has clearly been cut. There's like plastic that's just broken, right? Like, I wasn't even anywhere near that. That's broken. What is going on here? This isn't dust. It's like grease. And you see on my finger, like, it's literally, it's not dust, it's like actual grease. Like, so
Wow. Right there, like he said it. Not dust, it's even worse. It's like grease, like it was really dark brown stain on his finger. Like, yeah, that's not good. That can honestly get a company in insane amount of trouble. Like, dust ain't, like, dust is not as bad. It's still a big problem. But if it's grease, which is way worse, like, that's not right. That's insanely not okay. Like, that could get a company in insane amount of trouble because, like, that's just not right. Literally at all. Like, dust is not quite as bad, but it still is to get clean. But grease, dude, oh, dude, that's a whole new ball game right there. And then look at this disk drive that you see right there. Like, what if that stuff scratches a game in, like, amount of time that you play it? Like, that stuff right there could probably easily scratch a game. Like, the disk drive should always be clean. Or no, I take it back. That's the bottom. I don't know what the heck I was saying there. I thought that was the top, but that's not. But still, that's a problem. I don't know what the heck I was thinking there, but yeah, that's still a big problem anyway, even though it's the opposite. I forgot. The disk drive's on the other end, but still, that's still a big problem. But yeah, just look at that disk drive, like, oh, dude. Let's continue.
So this is the same kind of stuff that I was seeing in the disk drive. This is supposed to be a refurbished console.
Come on out. There we go.
Now, I will say one thing, that's pretty clean. Like, in fact, impressively clean considering, and the warranty seal is still on it for the actual disk drive. So my next question is there new thermal paste? That's the only other thing I can think of that could be a potential problem. But let's go ahead and crack open this.
Watch. He's getting ready to take it apart. Watch. 100%. There is no new, fresh thermal paste on that freaking chip. Just wait. We're getting to the good part.
This heatsink and see what we find underneath. Now, this is the point where no one should really ever do this. Opening up to this point is not like massively difficult. Taking off the thermal paste and the actual like heatsink is a bad idea. There we go. Fans are loose-ish. Well, actually, there's a little dust on the backside of the fans. Actually, yeah, you know what? Wait a minute. There's dust on the backside of the fans, and that's the side that you can actually get access to from the outside. Like, this is the part, if I owned a 360, that I could actually keep clean myself without tearing the whole thing apart. Okay, so this is classic heatsink bullshit. Come on. There we go. So, there you go. That's what 15-year-old thermal paste looks like.
Yep. What do we tell you? No fresh new thermal paste. So that's not good for a console, especially to long last longevity of it. Like, I'd say, like, for an old console like that bad boy, that probably could last maybe a year, maybe up to 2 years at most. So yeah, if you were somebody that planned it on getting a console and there was that thermal paste from the back in the day from when the console first came out, you know, like, that right there just is, that's not okay. Then the console could honestly just overheat and whatever eventually in the short term. Like, that's just not right. A fresh new thermal paste is very, very important no matter what kind of a tech item it is, whether if it's a game console, whether if it's a PC or whatever. Thermal paste is always important to make these items long, to last long is what I mean. Like, to honestly last a long time. But a 360, like with that, yeah, I can honestly say if it was to last a decent while, it would probably only be somewhere around to 1 to maybe possibly 2 years. But with that, I can almost guarantee you that that bad boy won't even last that long because it won't be able to cool itself down much. But let's continue.
It's now thermal goop. Cool. All right. Ah! Oh, that's worse. Dude, I could just touch that. Like, it is not dried out, but that's pretty, like, it feels like rubber. For the amount of money that I paid for this console, I would expect someone to have gone all the way down to the CPU like I'm doing right now, clean off this rubber. Oh my God, dude, that is like, I mean, that is almost not even coming off. That is ridiculous. But I would have expected someone to fully have cleaned this off, repasted it, and put it back together. Otherwise, while yes, it's nice to have an exterior clean, it's not the same thing as actually having like a proper console that's gonna be good for years to come. Alrighty.
Like he said, that's not good for a console to last a good bit of time, like a good amount of years. That's like I said, like that console, if somebody had that 360 and they were playing it a decent bit, or maybe like every so often, like probably like every few days for like a few hours or something, like that still would not last that long. So that clearly is not okay at all. So now wait till we get to the PS3 that he's getting ready to show you, because I can right now just tell you it's going to be like 4 times worse than what the Xbox 360 was, and that was already bad as it was. But wait till we get to the PS3 here. Let's get started.
Friends. Next up, we have the PS3 Super Slim. Does the door work today? Because it didn't work last time I used it. Yeah. I can't believe the door just fixed itself. That makes me so mad. Oh, okay, well here's something interesting. I actually did not notice this when I did the unboxing. Clearly this has been opened up in the past, because you can see there's like chunks of the plastic missing. Here, here, and especially here. I don't know. Whoever did that was clearly not doing it right, because it pops up from the bottom, not from the top. Oh! Alright.
Look at that. Just as soon as he took that part off, like it's not completely all off. Just look at that. Even look at the logo a little bit. Like, that is disgusting. Like, oh, like, I don't understand. But just wait. We're going to get to more.
I've seen a problem. Look at the dust. Okay, so
Look at that. Like, you can't even barely see black right there. Like, look at that stuff. Like, that is so much brownish yellow looking. Like, that's completely disgusting. Like, honestly, like, if I seen that in one of my consoles, especially, that I dearly love, because even though I love the Xbox 360 more than the PS3, and I love the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One a lot, the PlayStation 3 is still one of my all-time favorite game consoles. And if I had one like that, especially, oh my, dude, I would probably freaking throw up. Like, just by looking at that, like, I want to throw up right now. Like, it's just, oh my, I don't understand what this company, I don't even know why it even exists. If this is just the way that they're going to treat their audience, like, oh my, this is just completely ridiculous. This is just uncalled for.
I think it's kind of safe-ish to say immediately that they did not open this up. That is gross. Look, there's literally like dust bunnies in here. Like, and just to be clear, every single console, this one included, that we purchased.
And just look right there what he is showing. The console is almost $300 for the normal price that they're selling this for. And yet they got it on sale and it's still overpriced. Like $240, and they didn't even do a single freaking thing. And then look right there. Like right here. Condition, refurbished. They did not do any freaking thing to the console. Like, they didn't even, like, I don't even know if they tested it, but, like, they didn't even take, like especially, like, just the side part off. They could have easily took the side parts off and wiped what was on the edge of the disk drive there. Like, oh my goodness, like, this is just a terrible company, man. I'm just telling you right now, it's a terrible company. But, honest, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to probably keep saying this. I'll probably say it again before the end of the video. Just do not ever buy from DKOldies. Like I said, you're better off on eBay or a local pawn shop near you that's got the items in store, you're just going to be better off from them, because you're going to get a console that might look dirty, but it won't look nearly like as close as dirty as what these guys are selling, and the consoles are going to most likely work compared to like them, where they're not even functioning right. So don't buy from DKOldies, guys. Just do not, because you're just not going to get a good product. It's 100% honest with you. Don't buy it from them. You're just going to get a bad product.
Purchase from DKOldies was labeled as refurbished. And while the 360 was actually opened up and cleaned, I feel pretty confident in that. This PS3 was absolutely not. There's just, look at this. There's literally just caked on. This looks refurbished, right? So I now understand why the door was sticking. There is a broken little piece of black plastic that is just floating in here. So if I move it, you see all these little like gears. See it sticking? Oh, and it just sucked it in. Great. There it goes. Never to be seen again. I can't completely blame DKOldies because it's a terrible design, but at least it explains why it is the case. If it looks this gross just under the plastic bezel, which I don't think gets that much airflow or anything, imagine what this thing's gonna look like on the inside.
Hi guys, in this video we will explore 7 reasons why CapCut is the best.
Oh! Oh!
Just look at that. Honestly, I would honestly have to say that Jacob R's original backward compatible PS3, like, it already looked bad as it did. This is like 3 times worse than Jacob R's original backward compatible fat PlayStation 3. This is like 3 to 4 times worse than what that one was, and that was already in of itself like a freaking desert. Like, it was so bad. This, on the other hand, oh no. This is like 4 times worse than Jacob R's original backward compatible PlayStation 3. Like, this is just unacceptable, like 100%. Like, it's not good. And just wait till you hear what Austin Evans has to say about it.
Oh, it's like sticky on it. Look at how much is caked on here, around here, over here on the intake. It's all caked on the inside too. Me opening it up, I think that little piece of plastic that was jamming it up is actually now gone because it works again. I fixed it. Oh.
Wait, that's not okay. Well,
I'm blowing the dust away. Remember, this was $240. You know, like what it cost brand new 10 years ago. All right, what's all this? Ew!
Look at that right there. That is the most disgusting thing ever. That is just, oh my, like, I can't even describe that. Like, I have never, ever seen something like that ever in my life. Like, this is like 100%. This is the worst console I have ever seen a YouTuber has bought from DKOldies. Like, this is like way worse than all the other consoles like Jacob R, Review Tech USA, and even the NES from Tronix Fix. Like, this is way worse than all of those other consoles combined. Like, oh my goodness. I don't understand what is up with this company. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand why they think that this is okay to just sell people stuff like this, because, oh my. I do hope something does happen to DKOldies and freaking comes atoms soon. I hope that like everybody just immediately stops buying from them, because you can clearly see that we're getting more proof and even more evidence that stuff's even worse than before. Like, and they're still not caring about it. Like, that is the most disgusting thing ever. That's like whatever, somebody spilled something on that and they just thought it's okay. Just, yeah, please don't. Please do not buy from DKOldies. Just do not. This is not okay. You're just gonna get ripped off no matter which item you get, even if they freaking were to sell it at a very, very low competitive price, like eBay's prices and the pawn shop prices. Like, even if they're asking for the same price for their items, or even if it's slightly cheaper, you're still going to be better off from eBay or the pawn shop or whatever local pawn shop you have near you. But yeah, this is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life on a freaking console, whether if it's a disc drive or the console itself.
Oh! Ow! Ah! Okay, I think I understand more now. It's dusty and it got wet at some point. Do you see all these like streaks? This is from like wet goo or whatever that was inside the system. Look, it's all caked around the USB ports. Look, there's actually like rust here. There's literally rust on the bottom of this PS3. Oh my god.
And right there is more proof that, like, it just, with it being rusty, that console may not even freaking work for very much long. Even if it did, it would be so, it would be so amazing to me if that console actually still works. But it actually did, because he tested it in the early part of the video. Even though we didn't show you that, we're just showing you the taking apart of the consoles. But like, even if that console works, which I am amazed by it after seeing that, I can guarantee you that that console is literally not going to work for very, very long. Like, that's pretty bad. That is the most disgusting thing on a console I've ever seen in my life.
It's literally rusting! What the f- What? The bottom of the PS3 must have been wet at some point, because it came in through the top and through the bottom. The bottom is much worse where it's actually rusting, but the top still has all this stuff. So this thing was dirty and disgusting, and then got slightly submerged or was around a buttload of humidity. If they would have done their research, they would have known that this thing is in absolutely like gross condition. Oh my god, it's everywhere. It's literally.
And look at there, just on the motherboard itself, like, they literally did not do a single fucking thing. They literally clearly didn't. They absolutely didn't even take the side parts off and clean the sides, as you've seen that, like, this is, I've watched so many videos of Tronics Fix and countless of other YouTubers take consoles apart, like a PlayStation 3, like an Xbox 360, like a PS4, like an Xbox One, and even PS5, Series X. Like, I've watched countless of consoles taken apart, and over the last several years, this is the worst I have ever seen in my life. I have never seen a console this bad. This is the worst console I've ever seen in my life. Literally taken apart, and the condition that it looked. Like, straight up, this is the worst I've ever seen. And I've watched countless of consoles taken apart from YouTubers. This is clearly showing a big picture on DKOldies, and I honestly do think that if people watch this that buy from them, or even them, I can already tell that, like, probably some of the people that work there are not going to be very happy with Drew, with his choices of making them not clean, because that right there is really painting a lawsuit for the company, because that's just not right to basically sell a console, say it's refurbished, and it's clearly like 110,000% way freaking dirty. Like, this is just not correct. So, like I said, that is the worst console I've ever seen in my life taken apart. Like, I have never seen no console. Like, I've seen consoles pretty dirty, like, especially from, like, the other countless of YouTubers, and freaking even Tronics Fix, who bought an original PS4 from GameStop. It was really disgusting with a bunch of tar and freaking, like, from a smoker that GameStop did not do. But I would much rather have that console better than this one. This is like 3 times worse than that PS4 that Tronics Fix got from GameStop a few years ago that was from a smoker. This is way 3 times worse than that OG PS4 that he had. I would personally much rather have that PS4 with that condition, even though I still would want it to be clean. I would much rather have that than this freaking bad boy, because that's just clearly showing more and more evidence that they clearly are not doing what they're saying that they're doing. So don't ever buy from DKOldies. Just please do not. You are just going to screw yourself over if you do. So, we're going to give our final thoughts on all of this, but you seen that PlayStation 3 and even the 360 from Austin Evans, as well as the NES from Tronics Fix. The 360 was still not good, but it was in a way better shape than that PlayStation 3 that he had. Like I can't imagine. Like, that is the worst ever console taken apart that I've ever seen in my life, like, dirty as can be. Like, that is the dirtiest, worst console I have ever seen in my life. And I've watched countless of consoles taken apart from Austin Evans and as well as Tronics Fix and countless of other YouTubers. And I've seen really dirty consoles. I don't know why I said awesome, but I've seen insanely dirty consoles, especially like the original PS3 that Jacob R had. But that PlayStation 3, oh my goodness, like, that just makes me want to throw up. Like, that is the dirtiest console I've ever seen in my life, like, hands down. I seriously don't understand what is up with this company. I just do not understand. I think that the company needs to figure something out, but Drew's not going to freaking give a crap about it. But honestly, I could see it happening, and I honestly do hope it does happen. But yeah, DKOldies is going to get a freaking lawsuit of some way, and I could see it happening sometime relatively soon, because with all these countless of YouTubers literally showing proof and showing that they're literally doing this and lying and saying description of what they're putting it as that they're clearly not doing, yeah, they're going to be in some seriously deep trouble. And honestly, I hope they do. I really do. Because especially that PlayStation 3 from Austin Evans, that's uncalled for. That is just straight up. That is just uncalled for. It's so bad that, like, I can't even barely speak of what to say, because it's so freaking disgusting, and it disgusts me with how bad that PlayStation 3 is. And like I said, that is the worst, dirtiest, filthy, disgusting console I have ever seen taken apart. I have watched countless of consoles taken apart, that one right there is the worst, number one console, filthiest, all that, the most disgusting I have ever seen. So, honestly, at this point, I honestly don't think DKOldies is going to be around for very, very much long. I don't even know if they're going to even last the rest of this year. If the people keep buying these consoles and they make videos and keep showing proof and evidence of what they're looking like, that they're lying, I don't see them lasting. But they can turn this around. They literally can, if they would just man up. But nope. The owner doesn't want to because he's just in it for the profit, and he does not care about the consumer. And I can almost guarantee you, it's this freaking close, very, 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 very close to fucking hitting him in his fucking ass. Literally. And if you're watching this, DKOldies, you have got to figure out something to do with Drew, because he is not doing what needs to be done. Straight up. And Drew, if you watch this video, and I don't care if you like it or not, you need to get the hell out of that freaking business. If that's how you're going to freaking treat the audience and treat consumers as, that's uncalled for. You need to get freaking checked, Drew. And I'm not kidding. You need to get checked, because you are not doing what is right. And that PlayStation 3 that Austin Evans had, that's unacceptable. And that's uncalled for. That should not be that filthy and that disgusting. Like, Drew, you seriously need to get fucking checked. That's just unacceptable. But that's just what it is. Well, that pretty much does it for our video for tech and gaming reviews. Hope you all enjoyed that angry rant, but yeah, that's uncalled for. Like, yeah, that is the most filthiest, disgusting looking console I've ever seen in my life. I would not want a console like that. So, yeah. So, I hope you enjoy this freaking angry last bit of the rant of the video. And from all of those consoles that those YouTubers got. Give this video a like if you enjoy this content. And also be sure to subscribe if you are new to this channel. And be sure to leave us a comment down below, down in the comment section, of your thoughts of all three of those consoles, especially the PlayStation 3 Super Slim that was completely disgusting, like, of all time. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll keep you posted with more content like this going forward. And until DKOldies ever changes their ways, we're going to continue to keep doing it, as well as the other ones. So, rate, comment, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on the next DKOldies video that has bad items. We will see you on the next one. Peace.